Okay, Owen, tell us about SIP Exclusive. How did it start? What is it that you guys do? What is it that you can offer the people out there?
So SIP started in 2015, back in the heyday. And it started with me. I worked in a lot of different mobile bar companies. I actually worked in Mauritius for a little bit, and then came back and I worked in the bar for quite some time. And then I worked for a company called Barcode Mobile. And then what was missing for me was sort of creativity, the artistry. So I started SIP in 2015 to bring more like smoke and mirrors, or like design to cocktails, to people's events. And it was mainly aimed at the private market. And we have since obviously evolved, and we did a lot of brand work and all of that, and we've come full circle back to doing private events, and mainly focusing on the wedding market and on the high-end luxury wedding market, where we draw inspiration from local flavors, local ideas, local art, local culture, and the whole concept is about being rooted in place. So all of our cocktails and communication and sort of service that we do is inspired by whichever area we are in. And currently our only branch is in Cape Town or in Western Cape, so all our inspiration comes from local flavors and fynbos and local art, and that's kind of what we aim to do.
I know one of the services that you guys offer is you offer bar services, consulting services. I think that is one of the things, because you're very well known in the industry. Maybe talk a little bit about that service offering. What does that look like if people want to set up something, or people from wine farms that want to make the experience better for the end user? Maybe talk us a little bit about that.
All right, so on the consulting side of things, obviously myself, I've been in the bar industry for forever, it feels like. So my expertise lies in setting up bars, creating systems, and designing cocktails and doing staff training behind that. Most of the consulting work I actually do is around cocktails, so developing a menu that works for you and that works for your area. And then we also started, out of sort of COVID time, we started a side piece of the business where we create syrups and cordials and sodas and garnishes for venues. So essentially it's like a prep arm. So we basically prep ingredients for you. We'll take your syrups that's designed for you, and we'll make it to order, but with shelf life, so shelf stability and cost stability. What most venues obviously don't look at is hidden costs like wastages. So what we do is we take that wastage completely out of it, and obviously we also work sustainably and we source sustainably, so pricing can come down nicely. And then out of a consulting point of view, I can come and set up a menu for you and train your staff to execute that menu. And then if you can't do the prep in-house, that's where we'll come in. And for wedding venues, for example, or wine farms that do their own bars, we can come in and do the specialist stuff, where we can add on to what you already do, or we can also train your staff to obviously do better service and to sort of go past that ceiling of peak service time. So when you are in peak service time, we can train your staff to handle more volume and basically break through that ceiling. And we can also supply you with premixes or keg cocktails that you can do, use a self-service mix of your spirits, or come in and actually do the whole thing and take it over, and you can sell what we sell to you onto your end customer. That's it.
Another question, do you guys do in-house training for people that want to get into the industry, mixologists?
We don't really do in-house training. There's a lot of other companies that do that, businesses, in terms of if you want to do a bartending course to go on and work as a bartender. However, you can obviously come and do a course with me if you want to, but we are not a training facility. We do, however, train our own bartenders in-house, and I have trained if venues, if I'm consulting for venues, I do train their staff to obviously get ready for their venue. But as a private or personal bartender, if you do want to take a lesson with me, or you want to book a private one-on-one, I'll happily look at a quote for you and do it, but it's not something we actually do ongoing.
So Owen, if I am in the process of planning an event, what does that journey look like for me when I engage with you the first time? Where do I get hold of you? What does the journey look like?
So you can go find us on Google, SIP Exclusive on Google, and just give us a shout. A call is usually best for putting a bar service together. Or go onto our website and actually fill out our online form that asks you all the questions that we need, all the info from you. A lot of our customers actually come through word of mouth, so it's usually through trusted sort of customers that we've already done work for, and they'll pass on our details and people will call us. And the first step is you'll get in touch with us either via website, and the website, obviously you fill in the form. We will then get back to you with a basic quote, and Janine, my coordinator, will jump on a call with you and actually discuss your actual needs for your event. With word of mouth, we'll do the same thing. We'll ask you a couple of questions. When is your event? How long is your event? What is the needs? Do you need a welcome bar or a full bar or a cocktail bar, or do you need a custom designed cocktail menu, or do you need a custom designed package? Or we can sort of choose, you can choose one of our packages, our signature package or our essential package, and both those has got a set of menus that you can choose from. And then we'll take you through a bit of a consult. We'll do a final quote, and on the final quote you can decide whether you want to go with it or not, and we can obviously do a couple of reverts. We can also develop a cocktail menu for you, and with that we'll invite you for a free tasting, and then do the final sales order, then come and execute on your event, and then afterwards we will do a full recon and do an invoice for you.
So I see a nice certificate hanging up here in your warehouse. Tell us a little bit about that journey. What is that about?
So yeah, my journey is a bartender first and foremost. I don't come from business or anything like that. I just started in the events industry. Well, not events industry, actually. I started in the hospitality industry as a waiter, and then I worked my way up through the bar. And as a bartender, I started competing, and I competed in multiple competitions, a lot of flair competitions back in the day, and then I started doing a lot of mixology competitions, and then in 2019 I took the title for World Class South Africa, and I represented the country in Scotland and in Holland at the time, and that was actually just after my bar team at the time, SIP Exclusive, we won Africa and Middle East best bar team in Africa and Middle East for Bowls Around the World at the time, and we went to Amsterdam to go represent South Africa there in Bowls Around the World. So yeah, ever since then I've only been running the business.